Hi guys, how are we today? I hope we're having a great day. I appreciate you being here. We are going to be doing our Bioshock 2 wrap up, just like we did our Bioshock 1 wrap up. I feel like it's important for me to kind of put down my opinion before I start the next one. It's important for me to be able to kind of unlink them, even though, from my understanding, the third one is not even close to the same storyline at all. I have no idea what to expect for the third at all, but I'm going to begin. Kind of just a brief overview. I did enjoy the game quite a bit. I enjoy the fact that they, instead of you being, instead of you being a third character, you actually get to be Big Daddy in this one, which is intriguing because Big Daddy and the Little Sisters were a huge part of the last one, except you were the bad guy. Whereas now you're a bad guy. Where as of now, you're not a bad guy, you are a big daddy. The rest of them can be bad guys, but you're essentially trying to save your daughter or little sister. So yeah, your name in the game is Subject Delta. You are trying to find your daughter, Eleanor. I cannot really understand if it was actually her. I'm pretty sure it was actually her dad who Lamb turned into a big daddy. Pretty sure it is, but I'm not positive. I don't think my brain like fully understood whether or not she was actually his daughter or not. Um Either way, Lamb is your big bad guy, not a good person. Really, she's just trying to, just like the last guy, they're trying to make essentially utopia. Except the difference of Lamb is trying to do like essentially trying to make her daughter into like a messiah, not really a messiah, but just like the perfect leader of a world, except she's essentially ran the world into nothing to do it. So yeah. um I have notes, checking on my notes, I apologize. Big sisters are one of your main big bads. Their big sisters are introduced to you pretty close to the beginning, and that is your main bad guy that you have to fight in the game. Lamb is the main bad guy. The little sister, or sorry, the big sisters are the ones who you have to actually fight up until the end because you don't even see Lamb until the end. And then Sinclair is one of the good guys. Sinclair's pretty. He's the one who radios you through the entire episode. Episode. Wow. Radios you through the entire game and is trying to keep up with making sure you know where you're going, things like that, etc. Oh, and then you got bad alphas. Daddy alphas, I think they're called. Like they're big, like essentially big daddy alphas. I think they were just calling it alpha in the game. Um, there's actually a few of them, so I'm not exactly. It's just like the rest of them. It's like they have a generalized name, but like there's multiple, so I don't know why they're called like alpha, delta, excuse, whatever, etc. Um, you start as Big Daddy with Eleanor when she's a very small child, just like all the little sisters in the game, original game, and the second one technically, other than her. And you essentially get forced to, yeah. And then you get brought back by Eleanor a little bit down the road when she's in her teens. And she's trying to escape from Lamb because she doesn't want what Lamb wants. So she is consciously like hoarding and helping you as much as she can. Um, I think the whole premise of this game was really neat. I think the not playing as a different character the way you did in the first one. Well, I knew it wasn't going to be the same character, but I wasn't exactly sure who it would be. I was almost curious to see if they would be doing like an Andrew Ryan POV, which I think would have been really neat. But also like we got a ton of his storyline anyway without doing that. So I don't know if it would have been fully necessary. It would have been really fun to see like doing things before Rapture went to hell. I would still like to see eventually. I don't think they will ever make a game. Well, I don't know. No, because I've heard that the last one has nothing to do with Rapture. So, but I do think it would be really neat if they made like a prequel to all of them where you're a subject that's during testing trying to get out and you help the fool collapse. That would be neat. I think it would be kind of cool to do something like that. Um, but that's kind of what I expected this one to be. instead of it being a big daddy and a little sister, essentially. So the whole game you can kind of collect little sisters and use them to collect Adam for you, which I also think is neat and different. I had some issues with the bindings not working. So the like the find Adam, um, it was like reload and whatever. I had the little, was it? It wasn't reload. I don't know what it was. Actually, I think it was R. It was R. It was keybinded to R, but also reload also was keybinded to R. And for some reason, I could not get the find Adam to work after the first time I played it. I didn't mess with the bindings. I went in to look to see what it was because I could not for the life of me get it to work. And it was right. I don't know why it wasn't working. I have no idea what was going on. So I had issues with key bindings in this one, and I did at the beginning of playing this game have a lot of game crashes. I have no idea why. I mean, a lot of game crashes. Like, to the point where I started getting to where I would save it constantly, which you guys probably can see in the videos if you've watched them. There's a lot of random cuts, and a lot of that is me pausing and saving because I was scared we were going to get more crashes and I was going to have to go through. Editing those were a little hard. They were difficult, okay? They were difficult to say the least. So I did save all of the little sisters again. I rescued. I'm a rescuer. I'm not a harvester. It is what it is. I did the same thing for the first one. I feel like I probably should have went a different route this one, just to see. But since it was a whole different type of gameplay, I didn't want to. I went save your route again. That was the beginning. So essentially, the whole time you're going through Rapture, trying to find Eleanor. You do eventually find her. You fight fight two big sisters, and then you can get in. And then as you get into the quarantine cell that she's being held in with Lamb in there with her, Lamb essentially like cuts the tie between you two by killing her. Um, Gets her to stop breathing long enough for the tie, like the mental connection that you guys have, to sever. Which means you start degrading and going crazy. Like you're like almost going like feral, I guess is the best way to put it. Um Sorry, I look off what I'm thinking. I'm really bad about it. Uh I don't have a ton of notes. I just have enough like key points. So you get in there and then you actually get to play as a little sister, which I thought was really, really cool. You got to see the world as a little sister, see them. That I think was actually my favorite part of it so far. Not of so far. I finished it. That I think was my favorite part of the second one. I loved being Big Daddy, but getting to play as the little sister and see the world as a little sister saw it, I wish they had sprinkled that more throughout and show that you could do that. I almost even wish that you could have gone in as Eleanor and done some gameplay as Eleanor once she I'll get into it. I wish you could have played at it as her, honestly. I think that would have been really, really cool to be actually able to play as Eleanor. I would have loved that, honestly. But you don't get the chance to. It would have been, you do get to utilize her through a plasmid, but you don't really get to play with her. And I would have loved to play with Eleanor. I think it would have been really cool. Just to get, because you get to play as the little sister, right? It would have kind of brought a full circle that you're playing as the main little sister. Like it is she's essentially porting you into someone else, a different little sister's body. So kind of it's her, but I would have liked to play as the big sister, as Eleanor. I think that would have been really cool. But that's pretty much, she gets turned into a big sister. I'm pretty sure I said that. So Eleanor does get turned in, essentially turns herself into a big sister so she can, because she's not healthy fully either, and she needs to be able to fight her way out of the place. So she dresses up as Big Sister, and they get their ass out of the place. Bomb ends up going off right as he's about to get to the escape pod. She's already in the escape pod. Bomb really hurts him. My ending, she took his Adam, but she took his Adam to, in my understanding, she took it for his memories and everything. And to do good. Like they just, you know what I mean? So like she pulled Adam out of Delta because he was dying. He was pretty much dead. And since that tie was severed anyway, I don't really think he could have lived past getting her out of there. It doesn't really go on about it, but like he was starting, like I said, he was starting to go feral because he didn't have that mental connection anymore. So I think it would have turned it into him into something crazy. So I think no matter what, he had to die. It would have been interesting to see her have to kill him. Um, like I said, like playing as Eleanor, I think it would have been cool to escape as Eleanor and then making it up to the top and him kind of going absolute berserk and her having to kill him as a final, which would have been nuts for you to have to kill yourself, the guy you've played as the whole game. Um, but it's not what happened. This is just what I would have liked out of the game as well. I do think that the ending was great. I think it's very interesting that 2 games in a row you get to the surface and then game ends. I found that very odd that literally both of them you essentially have the same ending when you save them all. Like it's not well, it doesn't show like her life progressing through and the kids getting old and stuff, but like it definitely is the same ending other than like just that's the only not similarity. It doesn't show her life finishing out. Um so I think it's very intriguing that they did that, even though like they could have ended it much differently. And I will say the one thing that I really was not a fan of when it came to this one is there seemed like a serious lack of boss fights. Like there were areas where you had to figure things out, and it almost seemed more puzzle-like and finding things that you needed. Um, and than it did like fighting. Whereas the first one they had you had areas, but they all had bosses at the end or giant fights at the end. This one seemed to be lacking the big fights. There was the one between oh here, I missed this part. So Sinclair, the guy who's been helping you the whole time, Sinclair gets turned into Subject Alpha, which is essentially the new version of the Big Daddy, new and improved. So you do have to fight him, but like all of that is the end. That is the end of the game. You fight him once when he first gets turned, you run back to the main room and then you fight a bunch of him, which the alpha's already in the game. He just gets turned into one. Um, so you're fighting him and a few others, and that's the main boss fight of the game. So it really confuses me that that's I might have that backward actually. I think you fight in the big room and then you fight him and then you're fighting him as you go out because he like ports around and you fight him. Either way, there were not a lot of boss fights in this one, and I felt it was odd. It also does. I thought I had way longer to play in this game because we didn't have any like major boss fights. And then all of a sudden it's the end of the game and I was like, "Oh, shit, I finished it." So I was very surprised by that. I didn't think that's how it was going to end or be. I did really enjoy the game. So to kind of just wrap it up, I really did enjoy Bioshock 2. I did play it remastered, that way I could see better graphics and such. I enjoyed that they had the same plasmids. I would have liked to see new plasmids in this game, but I guess it makes sense that because it was I don't utilize all the plasmids throughout the game, and I know that. Either of them, I did not worry about buying or using all of them. I had ones that worked for me, and I stuck with them because I knew they worked well for me. Um, but I do feel like they could have put more into trying to make newer plasmids because I think it would have been nice to get something different. I get that they all work. They're the same area, so obviously they would have. They're also same-ish time period. So yeah, it would take a lot for new plasmids. But since it's an area controlled by someone else, I thought that there was going to be like obviously like you have 2 different areas working on different stuff. You don't share the same like-mindedness. So in my opinion, you wouldn't be making the same plasmids. You would be trying to accomplish different things with the plasmids you're making. That's just me. So I was hoping for a wider range or a better range because the ones that I don't use I feel like are almost subpar in their usage. It's like you don't want them in your presets because there's so many better ones that you need constantly. The fire one gets used constantly to melt ice. The shock one you need all the time for doors and to hack things. The new hacking gun, awesome, so cool. Until you don't have the auto hacks or the hack darts and you need them, but they don't really tell you not to use them throughout the game, and they don't give you them that often either. I guess you can find them at vending machines, but I often did not see them in vending machines, or so I don't really ever use the ammo ones because half the time I just never really needed the ammo ones unless I was really stuck in a spot with ammo. And if I was stuck in the spot with ammo, I normally didn't have the money to buy it anyway. So all in all, guys, I really did enjoy the second Bioshock. I think there was a lot that it could have been, but I also did really enjoy what they did with it. I love the fact they did Big Daddy and Little Sister this time instead of a third character. Um, I think I hated the new hacking system, but that's just me. Was not a huge fan of the new hacking system in this one. Um, but it was a fun game. It was fun to play. I feel like it was way shorter than the first one, and I'm actually being honest with you. Here, let me open my. All right, so Bioshock 1 actually took me 15.3 hours to complete, and Bioshock 2 took me 11.4 hours to complete. The thing is about the second, it was shorter. The first one, I did not do any replays of any areas and stuff like that. I just went straight through it. Bioshock 2, I actually had areas that I had to replay. And by that, I mean like save points that I had spent 30 minutes on that I had to go back and replay because of the game crashing on me. So this is at least an hour off. And that is in the smallest amount, at least an hour off. So it was a little bit of a shorter gameplay. I have no idea how long the Infinite is. I have no clue. Um, but yeah, in general, sum it up real quick. This is probably way longer than it need to be anyway. It was an amazing game. I am still thoroughly enjoying the Bioshock games. I think they're really neat. I like the storylines that they put together. I like how they had elements from the first one pulled into this one with Andrew Ryan. Even though you're not in the same area, it still does pull him in, even though he's not even part of the main story. I do like seeing that they are holding on to stuff like that. I think the entire plasmids, all of that. I think it is neat. I love the concepts of all of it. And I do enjoy playing these. I like the way the games play. I think, if anything, I just had issues with a few glitches in the game, like I said, crashing for some reason. Still have no idea why it was happening. Just little things like that I want more out of the game, but also there are a few things that I wish they had, which I mentioned throughout this video, or that they had done. I think some of the different endings, like I said, if I would have loved to play as Eleanor for a little bit, didn't get to, but I would have really loved to do that. I don't know if the third one, that's what I do. I have no idea if the third one is me playing as Eleanor. Because like I said, both games have they been in the same place. They've both been underwater. They've both been the minute they get up to the top, the game is over. So like the third one is Eleanor. No idea. But yeah, I really appreciate you guys coming here and watching this and checking out the wrap up. I do appreciate it. Hopefully, it won't be too long. I am a Twitch streamer. You guys check me out on the exact same XXK Soul Collector KXX. You check me out on my channel here. That is also my Twitch name. Come and pop in by stream. I stream 4 days a week. On Wednesdays, I stream nights. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, I stream mornings. I start at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, sometimes early, sometimes late, usually early. I try not to be late if I can be. And then I am uploading constantly 3 days a week. So make sure you subscribe and check it out. I am going to be doing Bioshock Infinite as well. This will be the last video for my Bioshock 2. And the next time you will hear about it is me comparing all three of the movies together. Or not movies. Wow. The next time you hear about Bioshock 2 and Bioshock 1 will be me doing a comparison video of all three once I finish Infinite and the Infinite wrap up. So I'll do finish Infinite, have all of those uploads, Infinite wrap up, and then I'll have a comparison of my opinions on them all. I really enjoy these games. I think they're very fun. I think the gameplay is awesome. They've kept me, I'm getting so into these games while I'm streaming that I will forget to look at stream or stop talking, and it is not good to do that when you're streaming all the time because I like chatting with everyone. Please ignore the mess. This is getting better. That's what this new board over here is for. It's for this to get better. Yeah. I really appreciate you guys. I hope you guys have a great day. Make sure to check out my Etsy, my Twitch. Make sure to check out all of it. It will be dropped in the comments. All of my social medias are also dropped in the comments as well. Go follow me on things. I'll update things as I can. I post to Instagram as much as I can with new paintings I've done. and stuff like that. I do really appreciate you guys being here and watching this through. And if you did watch the entire Bioshock 1 or Bioshock 2 series or both, thank you guys so much for all the support on my channel. I really appreciate it. I've been trying to branch out on my medias as much as I can because this is something I genuinely enjoy doing, and I really want to be able to take it somewhere if I can one day. So I appreciate you guys so much. I hope you have a great day. Make sure you drop a subscription and a like if you did enjoy, and comment what you think your favorite thing about the video or about the videos or about the game itself. What did you like or not like about Bioshock 2? And if you thought there could have been another ending, what would it have been? I really appreciate you guys. I hope you have a great night, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.
When Matt comes to America, do you guys want to have a fourth?
Wow, I didn't know they had a place with all my exes in here.
Oh God, no! Like white smoke and stuff, it's like they straight into you. Shit. You have a lightsaber?